Hello and welcome to this chess video. We interrupt our regularly scheduled Tata's Tail coverage to bring you a, well, somewhat shocking miniature from the Reykjavik City Championship. This is my my tournament that I've played many times. I'm not playing this time around, but it's a very strong tournament. We have one Grandmaster and I think at least 2 International Masters. And well, this game is between Davíð Kjartansson with the white pieces, who is, well, International Master Strength, over 2400, and he's playing against Stefan Bergsson, who last year was the shock winner of this tournament. I believe he was something like the 11th seed, might be even more. And yeah, he played the tournament of his life, just had a fantastic tournament and beat everybody, beat a lot of IMs. He even battled a guy that became a GM later that year. Just a fantastic win for him. One of the biggest upsets in well, Icelandic local tournament history. Very close to that. And he really put together a good year. Took chess seriously. At one point his rating went below 2000, but together with this tournament and taking chess more seriously, he took his rating over 2200. So he is the reigning Reykjavik City champion. And so far he's been doing well in this tournament. And last round he drew against the Grandmaster, Kjartansson, who is the top seed. Great result, and looks like he might be going for the title again. But first he would have to get through Davíð Kjartansson in this game, and let's see how that went. So Davíð had the white pieces, and we have e4. They went for the Ruy Lopez here, Nf3 Nc6, bishop b5, and now Stefan went with f5, the Jaenisch Gambit. Now this is an interesting gambit, and this has been played at the top level for a period. Timur Rajabov from Azerbaijan, he was playing this with the black pieces, I believe with good results, and it's a very interesting line. I played it as well. Old time my friend Runar Berg, shout out to him. He prepared me for a tournament game, and just fantastic, and everything came together, and I got a fantastic position. Should have won, but failed to realize my advantage, but that had nothing to do with the opening. It's a fine opening. So d3 here by Davíð, which is a very solid approach to meet this gambit. Black takes. There are much more complex lines than d3 if we want to get into that. For instance, knight c3, black takes on e4, and there's knight f6 here, which is a solid move, and there's also d5, which leads to massive complications after knight takes e5, d takes e4, knight takes c6, and queen g5. So this is how the main line I think used to be in this line, but okay, complicated line, but very fun variations. But in this one, a very solid approach. Just played d3. Stefan took on e4, knight f6, attacking the pawn. White castles. It's not a very good idea now to take because, well, you're inviting action on the e file, and your king is already weak with this pawn being absent from sheltering the king. So bishop c5, getting on with development. And now knight c3 by Davíð. Queen d3 is the main move here, and it's sort of a prophylactic move because black really wants to get castled, but right now he can't. The best move is d6, but if he castles, what will happen? The idea of queen d3. You are correct. White will play queen c4 check and simply pick up this bishop. So queen d3 the main line, but knight c3 was played here. d6 now by black. Very natural moves by white. Bishop to g5. And, well, natural moves by black as well. He castles, knight d5. So okay, we have this pin on this knight, but note that black isn't really worried about having to take with this pawn and putting the king on h8, because in that case he could use a g file to mount an attack on the white king. So black just gets his pieces out, bishop to e6, c3, taking away some squares from the black pieces on d4 especially. Also opening up for the queen in some lines. Knight e7, challenging the knight. Also we have ideas of c6, so the bishop retreats. And here we have a novelty from black, and a very unfortunate one. This position had arisen before, and in that game black took on d5, and after that he has a fine position. White probably has to take on d5 with the bishop. There's going to be a trade. White has to flick in this, and after queen takes d5 check, king to h8, black has a very good position. White can take this pawn, but it's a very dangerous pawn, and black has tremendous activity with action on the f file, pressure on the pawn here, and a very nicely placed bishop. Black shouldn't have any problems here. Instead in the game, and this is move 11, black played queen to d7. And this is, well, a very natural move. You just want to connect your rooks. Again, we're not worried about taking here and taking with a pawn, because again we will use the g file for an attack. And well, if white was to take on e7, we're quite happy. We will take with the queen. If we take on e6, we will retake with the queen, and things look okay here. But believe it or not, this position is lost for black. Now can you find out what white played here? And it forced actually resignation. This is just shocking, because the position looks so normal, so natural, and there doesn't seem to be anything going on, but it's completely lost. So I'm gonna let you find it, hit the pause button and come back, because I will now reveal the answer. And black resigned after the move. There are actually two good moves. Well, one wins on the spot, the other one gets a very good position. We will look at both, because they both have fantastic themes. But the move played in the game was knight takes e5. And yeah, it's just game over. The main line is if black takes, d takes e5. We'll play knight takes f6. And the key to finding tactics like this is to look at the forcing moves. Knight takes e5 is a very forcing move. Black has to take, then we take knight takes f6, it's check. We're attacking the queen, so black has to take. But then we simply take the queen, which was protected by a pinned piece. And white is completely winning here. Other tries, well, they simply don't work, because let's take for example queen d8. Well, we have to keep an eye on the knight, so we can't go to queen c, can't go to c8. I mean queen e8. There's going to be knight takes c7. Whoops, long distance arrow. Knight takes c7. So queen d8. Let's try that. But now knight takes f6. Again, check. If you take with a pawn, I just take your bishop. Game over. If you take with a rook, trying to take back with the rook on e6, you just take your rook. You take with c4, and you can end up simply down a rook here. This is just absolutely stunning. I want to mention another line, which is very nice as well, but knight takes e5 is the best move. But this line is actually very nice as well. Taking on f6 here instead of knight takes e5. G takes f6. Now b4, attacking the bishop. Bishop back to b6. Knight takes, pawn takes. And now can you see what the best move is here? Kind of similar motif, but sort of from the other direction. And the best move here is, are you ready? One man, one move. Knight takes e5. It's just, woo! Again, if you take with a d pawn, I will take your queen. And if you take with the f pawn, we have this beautiful x-ray here. Look at this. Look at this. The bishop is caught in the middle. Can't take the queen. And yeah, this is just game over. You can play king f7, but then the f4 is just absolute carnage with because king f7 doesn't get out of the cross pin. Absolutely stunning position. But knight takes e5 is the best move, and black resigned here. So a very nice miniature, very nice tactic. I hope you enjoyed this one. So if you haven't, again, subscribe down there, and there's going to be another video up there. And also likes never hurt my feelings, and it's the least you can do to help me if you want to see more videos. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.